incredible to have both, as many of us do. I did it in reverse, but many of the people who come to our community here in Charlotte County have raised families in the four-season district versus coming to Florida where you really only have 1.5 seasons. Hot and kind of cool. There you go. Right, and I just left Alaska, and it was, when I got on the plane, it was about 3 degrees. Get down here, and you're into the mid-80s, and I love it. The contrast is great, and I like breaking a sweat walking outside. It's good memories. Right. Right.
Okay. Thanks for calling in. Okay. The You know what that means, don't you? It's 1492. We're back to Thursday in 1492, December the 13th, 1492. What was Columbus up to? Well, they've just brought a woman to the ship, and she is now going to go and try to convince her villagers that Columbus and his people are good guys. The 3 men I sent with the woman returned at 3 o'clock in the morning. They did not go all the way to the village, either because it was too far or because they were afraid. They said that the next day many people would come to the ships, so by now these people must already be reassured by what the woman has told them. I was anxious to learn whether or not there was anything of value here, and also to hold conversation with these people. Their land is so beautiful and fertile, and they might be disposed to serve the sovereigns. So I decided to send men to the village yet again, trusting that by this time the Indian woman would have spread the news that we are good people. For this purpose, I selected 9 men, well armed and used to such an expedition. I also sent one of the Indians who was with us. They went to the village, which was a little over 12 miles to the southeast, located in a valley and unoccupied. Everyone had fled when they heard we were coming, leaving behind whatever they had. The village consisted of more than 1,000 houses and must have had a population of over 3,000. The Indian and the men ran after the occupants, telling them not to be afraid, and they were not from Canaba, but rather from heaven. And they gave beautiful things to everyone they met. The Indians were so much impressed with what they heard that more than 2,000 assembled. They all came to my men and placed their hands upon my men's heads, which is a sign of great reverence and friendship, but they continued to tremble until they were reassured. After they were calmed down, they all went to their houses, and each one brought food. They brought the bread of Niamas, manioc probably, which are tubers and look like large radishes. These are planted in all their fields and are their staff of life. They make bread from them, and they boil and roast them, and they taste like chestnuts. Anyone who eats them will say they taste like chestnuts. They gave my men bread and fish and whatever they had. The Indians on my ship had told the Indian accompanying the sailors that I wanted a parrot, and he passed the word on to these other Indians. They brought me many parrots and required no payment for them. The Indians begged my men not to leave that night and offered them many other things that they had in the mountains. When all these people were together, the sailors saw a great multitude of Indians coming with the husband of the woman whom I had honored and returned. They were carrying this woman on their shoulders, coming to thank me for the honor I had done her and the presents I had given her. My men told me that these people were more handsome and of better disposition than any we have seen up to now. But I do not know how this is possible. As to their appearance, the sailors said that there is no comparison with the ones we have seen before, either men or women. They are whiter than the others. Indeed, they saw 2 young girls as white as any to be seen in Spain. As to the country, the best in Castile in beauty and fertility cannot compare with this. This land is as different from that surrounding Cordoba as day is from night. All the land around the village is cultivated, and a river flows through the middle of the valley. It's very large and wide and could irrigate all the lands around. All the trees are green and full of fruit, and plants are in flower and very tall. The roads are wide and good, and the breezes are like those in Castile in the month of April. The nightingales and other small birds sing as they do in Spain in the same month, and it's the greatest pleasure in the world. Small birds sing sweetly during the night, and one can hear many crickets and frogs. The fish are the same as in Spain. There are many mastic trees and aloes and cotton trees. No gold has been found, but this is not surprising since we have been here such a short time. I have ascertained that there are 10 hours of daylight by measuring with a glass of half-hour duration. It takes 20 of these to make a day, unless some error was made because the glass was not turned quickly enough or because some of the sand did not run through. I found by means of this quadrant that I am 20 degrees north of the equator. So he's pretty accurate on his latitude, and he's very impressed with these people, and they're on what is we now know as the island of Hispaniola, which is where Haiti and the Dominican Republic are. And so Christopher Columbus, trying to make sure people understand that they're good people. Well, you know how that turned out following up, and that's how that goes. You know, I just received from the Peace River Center for Writers an advertisement about Edison College Lifelong Learning Institute. There's a $40 class that's going to be on Tuesdays in February from 10 until noon, and there's more information, but this, and I'll give you that in just a moment, but this is the Poetry of Witness, a way to explore the art and craft of poetry. Poetry is more than pretty words and comforting thoughts. It's also a voice, an occasion to speak up and speak out. Kurosawa, the Japanese film director, says, "To be an artist means never to avert one's eyes." Poetry of Witness is poetry that doesn't avert its eyes. It is poetry that sees and speaks, giving a voice to those who would otherwise have none. Poetry of Witness is poetry that reflects on the large social issues of its time: war, racial injustice, social injustice, poverty, immigration. It looks at the human condition and bears witness. It does not offer solutions, it merely speaks what it sees. For more information, you can contact Dorothy Brooks or visit the Charlotte Lifelong Learning Institute website at lifelong-learning-charlotte.org. Poetry of Witness. That's coming up in February, 4 Tuesdays in February. We've got the Mistletoe Ball coming up this Saturday, December 15th. And so the Mistletoe Ball, it's a Charlotte County Homeless Coalition Foundation is putting this on. Once again, we're excited to invite you to participate in the most beautiful and exciting social event of the year. Please join us for the 2012 Mistletoe Ball and enjoy the fabulous food and drinks, music, exciting holiday entertainment, dancing, holiday festivities, and the absolutely magnificent decorations of our favorite time of the year, including an enormous tree lighting. So save the date. That's this Saturday, December 15th. And reserve your tables, and you can contact Rex Koch at 637-0544 or email Rex, R-E-X, at Koch, K-O-C-H-C-P-A-S, KochCPAS.com, KochCPAS.com. Studio line here is 206-15.